Hello, chronic illness warriors. Welcome to the Going Beyond Coping channel. My name is Dawn Super, and I help people cope with chronic illness and pain. I have 9 of my own issues. They're in the caption if you're interested. And I like to shoot videos how I learn to keep going beyond coping and to thriving and loving my life. So today is a little bit of a heavier topic. I'm going to try to keep it lighthearted. It's Transformation Tuesday, so once a week I like to focus on changing your life and yourself and to make things better and to make it easier to cope with your symptoms. Thinking outside the bottle, outside of diet and exercise, and to the things that you might not think have any effect on your symptoms at all, but they really do. Bulldog. Today is Transformation Tuesday, and I'm talking about sensibilities are not a breakfast cereal. What does that even mean? Maybe the title was what inspires you to click and watch the video. A lot of times, having chronic illness, our world shrinks, and in an effort to stave off loneliness or feeling alone or what have you, we can make exceptions in relationships, and that can come back and really create a lot more of a burden for us than being alone. Sorry. So I came across this quote that I wrote in 2012 in my memories, going through the memories. And I've been thinking about it, so I wanted to turn it into a little video. So the quote was, "We get so hungry for connection that we often eat our sensibilities." And what does that mean? What does it mean to eat our sensibilities? So we all have criteria, if you will, on friendships, relationships, lovers, etc. And our sensibilities are what make that possible. So who you are as a person and who you choose to spend your time around is wrapped up in your sensibilities. So as an extreme example, if your friend wants you to rob a bank and you go along because you don't want to be friendless, you're breaking your sensibilities to keep a friend. So one of the ways that we give up our sensibilities is breaking boundaries. It's saying yes when you should say no. And that's also known as doormat syndrome. If you see the post that goes around every now and again talking about how the most giving people are the ones who are hurt the most, this is what causes that to happen. If you're constantly being taken advantage of, it's because you're breaking your boundaries. You're eating your sensibilities in an effort to have connection with someone. Heavy stuff, I know, but it's important because we don't think about how these things affect us until some magical path leads us to getting rid of them. And then we're like, gosh, that's such a lighter burden. I'm so happy about that. And then we make videos on YouTube to tell people how we did it. Okay. The next one is lowering your standards. Entering relationships with people you wouldn't enter into them with if you weren't lonely. Sorry, I'm having dog issues. This is also known as I can fix them syndrome. If you continually have relationships with people who have fatal flaws in their personalities, this is an issue for you. Lowering your standards. Maybe they drink too much, or they're aggressive, or they ignore you or treat you poorly, and you continue to see them anyway. That's all on you. Lowering your standards in an effort to combat your loneliness. Tricky stuff, right? because in the moment you can't really think about it that way. So that's why it's good, like once a week, to just think about things that you wouldn't normally think about, and then maybe you can get on top of some of them and feel better. It's not going to fix you, but coping is coping. Settling, feeling like this is the best you'll ever be able to do. And that's AKA nobody else would want me syndrome. This one is especially tricky for people with chronic illness because we already often feel like a burden to the people who love us deeply, much less people that we want to enter into relationships with. It's a very difficult one to deal with. When I met my husband, I had 7 disorders, 3 kids, a combative ex, and my financial situation was completely bleak. And we ended up having the next 7 years just be totally amazing. And that's because I did some things before I got to meet him. I got ready mentally to have a healthy relationship by putting boundaries in place, by raising my standards, and by refusing to settle. And I did that by knowing myself, by maintaining my standards and boundaries. And it led me to loving and respecting myself. I'm sure you've heard the phrase, you can't love someone else if you don't love yourself. And that seems a little off because we're constantly showing love to people who, quote unquote, don't deserve it or what have you, even if we don't love ourselves. And that's the crux of it, really. If you love yourself, then you're giving a more true love to the other people. And it's not an effort to make them love you, it's an extension of your own love inside of you. And it's different. Maybe I'll do a video about that sometime. I have a fussy dog here, so I'm going to wrap this up and ask you to subscribe. Please, my subscribers are going up and my watch time is going up, but the majority of the people watching are not subscribed. And that's the best way to get my message of coping out to the people who need it, is to increase my subscribers and my watch time. So thank you for watching this far. If you have, please consider sharing this on your own social media. That will help more people see it. Make it a great day, warriors. The choice is always yours.